All right, let's start our yoga today with breathing. Breathing, we always do. Yes, good. All right, find a nice comfortable chair, tall spine, palms up on our lap. And let's just close our eyes. And find ourselves here and present. And so yeah, themes this next week or two is going to be on, attachment. And the cause of almost all of our suffering ultimately comes from attachments, right? We attach expectations, we attach for things, for desires, for outcomes. We attach it to ourselves, what we want to do, how we want to look. And we also attach it to other people, expectations, right? Maybe they should do this. I think they should do that. That really hurt my feelings. I can't believe it, and they should do this. They should think like me. And all of those types of attachments are ultimately what cause anxiety in us, right? Cause just suffering because it's not working out the way I want. So we're going to breathe today, and our practice today will just be the motion of practicing yoga. It just helps us to relax about things, right? And ultimately be in the present moment. That is when we don't have attachments for what should happen, what should have happened. We're just here now, just present. So just become aware now of your breath. So just observe your breath. Eyes closed, body starting to relax. Notice when you breathe, is it through the nose or the mouth? Notice when you breathe, where the air lands in your lungs. Change nothing, just notice. But notice if there's any movement in the belly. Just notice. Notice how your breath feels. Just your natural breath. This breath that we do day in and day out, every day. Okay. Now we're just going to deepen the breath. We're just going to practice our belly heart breath. So let's just take a deeper breath in. And again, observe how you're breathing, where the breath is going into your lungs. Take another deep breath in and out. One more. Okay. Now we're going to go a little further with our breath. So as you breathe in, notice the belly rise and the heart rise. And as you breathe out, relax your heart and draw your belly back gently. And inhale, soften the belly, feel it puff up, and then lift the heart as you breathe up towards the collarbone. And as you exhale, soften the heart, draw the belly back. So nice and easy. Do about 5 more at your own pace, these belly breaths. So breathing in, relax your belly, fill it up, fill up the heart, feel the collarbones rise. And exhale, reverse, relax the collarbone. Feel the belly draw back to your spine, squeezing out your air. 4 more at your own pace. And so taking the effort out, the struggle out, just make this nice and easy. Notice the expansion of the lungs as you breathe in, expansion of the belly. Each breath, try to get a little bit deeper. Go as slow as possible. Continue on breathing deep. Noticing if you're struggling or there's any efforts, and just relax a little bit. The breath smooth and long. One more here at your own pace. And the next time that you breathe out, relax the breath. And then just relax. And now notice your breath again, just your natural breath. Notice if there's any changes in your natural breath. Maybe you realize that the belly now is involved in your each breath. Maybe you notice the breath is slower, longer. And maybe you notice little difference. No judgments, no attachments. And then when you're feeling ready and complete, and gently flutter the eyes open. Such a beautiful practice, conscious breath. I hope you're all practicing some of that during the course of each and every one of your days. Yeah, that's the biggest difference, I think, between exercise, exercise that we are all used to, and yoga is this conscious breath. Yeah, good. Okay, so nice tall spine. We're going to start to move a little bit. Our body likes to move and get rid of all the little, it's really the only reason why we do asana is to strengthen our body. And this is strengthening and a balance right today. And yoga is really helpful for strengthening. Yeah, but we'll talk a little bit about that as we go along today. All right, so we're going to just start with, let's bring our hands to the back of our neck. So there's these two energy points. In Jinshin, it's a practice, a Chinese practice of just getting energy to flow. And these 2 points back here are the points to help us to just unload excess baggage, right? Have any of you ever had a ton of bags and you're in the airport and it's really stressful, right? And when you put it down, it's like, oh, okay, that's what this helps us to do. Unload excess baggage. Good. We're just going to gently relax your arms down. Let them just rest on your chest. Your hands are just gently resting on the back of your neck. Good. We're going to take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, slowly turn your head over to the right. The hands can stay there, just resting on those energy points. And close your eyes here if you'd like, just turning your head. It's also a nice way to turn our head to support the neck. And then as you exhale, slowly bring the head back forward. And inhale, slowly turn it to the other side as far as you can. Yeah, so just helping us get rid of that excess fear, worry, just our negative thinking. And our adaptation, so we adapt, just sending signals to say, adapt. And slowly bring the head back forward. Good. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, just drop your chin to your chest. Good. Feel free to just take your fingers, your 4 fingers there, and massage the back of your neck towards your shoulders. Good. Yeah. And slowly relax and slowly press into your feet to lift your head back up. And exhale, just let the arms float down. Relax your arms down. Good. And then we're going to just do some circles with our shoulders, inhaling forward and up and exhaling back and down. Noticing how your shoulders feel today. It's feeling particularly good. Yeah, our shoulders tend to get tense, right? And then reverse. Yeah, so when we're expecting things to happen a certain way, expectation is just another word for control, right? And, how we want the outcome to happen. And we can just let that go, both positive and negative. Good. And then inhale, slowly reach the shoulders up and exhale it out. And when we have expectations of something and, it turns out great and we have a good time, you don't want to get attached to that either, right? Just enjoy the moment and then move forward. Yeah. Good. It's a really difficult concept to get our head around. Yeah. Good. And shake. Let's just shake it out. Shake out the head, move around, move your legs, move your whole body. Yeah. And shake off your stuff. Get rid of all more excess baggage that we just love to hold on to. And relax. And of course, we're always going to have that, and we're always going to get caught in, expecting that, and then it didn't work out, and then, that's just natural for us. But having that awareness, and saying, oh, there I am again, and then catching yourself. And with this practice, we don't hold on to it then. Let's float our hands forward and bring our hands into a fist. And let's rotate your hands. Just in fists, nice and slow and stretchy. And I'm getting a little snap, crackling, and popping in my wrist. So evidently I needed this today. And then reverse. And then go the other direction. So as we practice today and do different things, and today your body may be feeling differently. And then let's bring our fingers up. Yes. Reach the fingers up and then bring them down. And then reach the fingers up with your arms still extended and down. And now bring the fingers up. And then we're going to just roll hands. Nice and slow. It's like we're it always reminds me of scraping out if you bake, right? Scraping out the dough from the sides of the bowl. And then reverse the opposite direction. And shake it out. Shake it out. Get rid of all, again, the tension. Let it go. Good. All right, and then scooting forward a little bit in our chairs here. We're going to extend our right heel forward. You can keep a little bend in that right knee. It's going to stretch the back hamstring. So have your hips at a comfortable place on your chair so that the chair is not digging into your upper thighs, if possible. Good. And then we're going to lift our heart. I love this pose because just by lifting your heart up, you start to feel a stretch on your hamstring. So it's such an easy, safe way to keep that hamstring nice and stretched, right? Yeah, so take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, just slide your belly forward and your chest. And keep your chin, head looking forward. And find a stretch on that big hamstring there. So yeah, I've been doing some research into osteoporosis, which most everybody postmenopausally especially have. Yeah. And so yoga doesn't necessarily, it's not one of the top ones to build bone, right? But, and then on an inhale breath, slowly come back up and slide that foot forward. Good. And then we're going to take our hands behind our knee. And if it's available to you, we're going to hug that knee in. And then we're going to bring our hands, if we can. This is for our sciatic stretch. And I'll give you an option if this isn't comfortable. But if you're up here, actually, if you can bring that foot to the outside of this left leg, yeah, and hug that knee in. You might be feeling a nice stretch. Lift the chest. And if this is not comfortable for you, just simply crossing and dragging that leg over to the left. Yeah. And if you're hugging, same thing. We're going to start to move that knee, that leg over to the left till you feel a nice stretch there. And this just helps stretch the glute muscle, all of those muscles that run down from your back, down your butt basically, and into the hamstrings. So just find a nice little stretch here for yourself. Good. And then relax, and then slowly lift the leg and let it off there, and relax it back down. Nice. And wiggle it out, wiggle it out. Good. All right. And then we're going to extend the left leg foot now. Good. And take a nice big breath in and get nice and tall. Find a little stretch on that hamstring. Notice if one side was a little bit more intense of a stretch than the other side. So this side for me must be a little bit tighter because I felt the stretch a little bit more. Good. Take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale again, press your belly forward. Keep a straight spine. Hinge forward at your hips. Find your stretch. Yeah. And breathe. So what yoga does, again, not building bone, but it strengthens our muscles. And as we do today, it helps our balance and our strength. And it's really good for preventing of falling. On an inhale breath, slowly come back up. So if we do have softer bones, more brittle bones, the less we fall, obviously the less risk to have an injury. All right, and slide this foot back. And on an inhale breath, hug that leg in again. And if it's available to you, you can either keep it here and, switch over to here and move it over to the side, or you can take that foot to the other side and slide that leg over till you find a nice stretch. And again, you can be crossed here and just guide that leg over. It's a nice stretch as well. Yeah. And breathe. And each time you exhale, see if you can go over just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Yeah. Good. One more breath here. Good. And then as you exhale, relax. And then just slowly make your way out of that. Release the foot down. Good. Find your nice tall spine. Relax your arms down alongside your body. And as you press into your feet, reach your arms out and reach them up. You can be in cactus pose. Your arms can be in Y or straight up. Yeah. Take a nice big breath in and exhale. As you exhale, stretch your fingers up. Just feel it. The stretch coming from your side ribs here. Yeah. Relax your shoulders if you can. And then exhale, just allow the arms to float just easily down. Good. And roll out the shoulders. All right. And then one more time, we're going to take this leg here. And either we're going to cross it over like we did where we started, or you this time can just cross at your ankles. Good. All right. Find a nice tall spine. We're going to twist again. So nice stretch for this hip. We're going to inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Take a nice big breath in. As you exhale, relax your shoulders back and down. And then slowly turn and move the body over to the right and relax your arms down. Good. So that left arm or hand can be on the outside of that right thigh. Keep a nice tall spine. Options for this right hand are just alongside your chair or the palm on the back of your chair, pressing down to keep the spine long. Take a breath in. As you exhale, turn and look. I know I do these almost every time, but it's so important. I like to stretch the spine every class in all 6 directions to keep it healthy and strong. Breathe into that belly. Try that belly breath. Good. And as you exhale, relax and slowly come back forward. It would be nice to have had a picture of when we started yoga, right? This pose. And now how much further we go, right? In each of these poses. Let's release and let's go to the other side. So options are either to cross the leg or cross at your ankles. Good. Find your tall spine. On an inhale breath, float your arms forward and up. Good. You can be in cactus again. Big breath in. Exhale, relax, and twist. You don't even have to have your arms up for this one if your shoulders are tight. Relax your arms down now. And then land that right hand or forearm onto the outside of the right side. Left hand can be alongside the chair or palm on the back of your chair, pressing down. Take a breath in. As you exhale, relax and twist over. And breathe. Breathe into your belly. Long, slow, deep breath. And as you exhale, relax. Slowly come out of the pose by bringing your head forward, body forward, and uncross. Good. And wiggle out the legs. Let's one more time. Just give ourselves a big seated shake. Yeah. Don't forget that pose every day. Yeah, that helps us to get rid of the attachment too. So funny that, the attachment to things comes physically in us. When we start to think, hey, really wanted this outcome, the whole body starts to feel that, right? And so we can start with just shaking it off our physical body, and maybe the mind will, come to and say, okay, yeah, right? It's not meeting reality. My expectation is not meeting the reality, and that's where that tension comes in. Let's stand. If you want to stand, you can remain seated in your chair if you like. We're gonna come forward and remember to nose over toes, lead with your heart, use your thighs when you stand. Yeah. So leading with your heart, pushing your heart forward helps us to smoothly stand up in our chairs. And let's meet at the back of our chair. Good. All right. So we're just gonna move again, shake up here. Yeah. And shake off any tension. Yeah. And maybe come into a little bit of a march here. Yes. So having a nice tall spine. Good. And maybe widening the march a little bit. And if you want to get your arms involved, maybe we reach up on an angle, side to side here. Reaching up to the side walls, side ceiling. Good. And now let's bring it down towards the floor, side to side. Yeah. Good. So just coming side to side here, sending those signals to the brain. And now maybe just directly out to either side. Yeah. Good. Just moving the body just a little bit. I know it's hot today, so let's come back to center. You can come to your little march, back to your little march. Good. And then slow it down and relax. Heart rate come back down. Feel the blood moving in our body, the fluids. Keeping that fluid moving through our body is what keeps us healthy, what keeps our immune system kicked on, what keeps the toxins from moving out, you know, that collect in our body. So we're going to do a deep breath, a really deep breath. So we're going to breathe all the way down to the lower lobe of our lungs. And so we're just going to take our arms and we're going to reach our arms forward and up. And then we're going to bend our elbows and just lay your hands behind your shoulder blades here. Yeah. And then you're going to reach your elbows up towards the sky as high as you can. That's comfortable. And then the tendency here is to poke the ribs out, right? Because we're arching our back. So try to draw your ribs just back to neutral, even though these arms are up. Good. All right, and so we're just going to take some nice big deep breaths here, part breaths. Good. So through the nose on an inhale breath, breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 5, 6. Breathe in. Slowly, deeply, hold the breath as long as it's comfortable. And breathe out as fully as you can. Let's do 3 more at your own pace. Breathe in, big breath. Again, holding just as long as is comfortable on your body without a struggle. And breathe out. And just imagining as you breathe in next, that the whole lung is getting filled from the top part, middle, and lower lobes of the lung. And that's where the big blood vessels are in the lower part of our lungs. And so keeping these lungs working fully will keep us healthier, more alert, more relaxed. One more breath here at your own pace. This helps us to open up, to breathe a little bit deeper into those lungs. And then on the exhale breath, when you exhale fully, just relax the elbows, just drop them forward and down. And then just very gently relax the arms down off your body and relax and shake out the arms. Even wiggle out the feet. Yeah. Good. Yeah, just taking in that nice, big, deep breath. And again, it's a practice. We've gotten to a habit of when, becoming a little bit more complacent maybe, and then breathing shallowly just to 1/3 of our lungs. And over time, day after day, that just has an effect on our body. So when we practice this deep breath all the way down to these lower lobes of the lungs, we just remain healthier. Yeah, good. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit more breathing here, right? We're gonna do our 3-part breath, our conductor breath. So through the nose, we're gonna breathe in as you just gently bring your arms up, breathe in a little more as they fan out, and breathe in as they just gently reach up. And then exhale, soften your knees and just drop your arms and head. Yeah, as you exhale. So inhale. Inhale more, even more, and then exhale, let it go. Inhale, 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 and exhale. Inhale, 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 and exhale. Just make this nice and soft and easy. And big breath, and exhale, and one more. Yeah, all right. And wiggle it out, good. And shape it out. All right, so coming a little bit more deeply into our hamstring here, we're gonna come into pyramid pose, which is also sort of a balancing pose because we're gonna take our right foot forward, make sure that the left heel stays grounded. Yeah, if the left heel's up, then shorten your stance a little bit. Yeah, so we're just off our, our center here with this pose. Yeah. And then bringing our hands onto our hips. And so we think, okay, this is pretty easy, right? I've got this. Well, let's just experiment with softly closing the eyes. And just notice what's going on with the body. Notice the signals the brain is sending to say, okay, stay up there, stay balanced. I know your feet aren't together. So the body, the brain is quickly, split second, sending signals to the body to stay upright. And then slowly open the eyes. Isn't that amazing that it's just, so that's the thing with as we age. So brain is constantly sending split second signals to this body, right? And as we age, like everything else, things start to slow down. And so those signals slow down too. So in between that signal is when we have a tendency to fall, right? So the more we practice this, we can keep that quickness happening. Good. All right. So eyes open again. Here we are. On an inhale breath, lift your chest. Good. And then as you exhale, feel like hinging at your hips. Keep your chest lifted as you reach the chest towards the floor. And so the knees are staying fairly straight. There's a tiny soft bend in that right knee. Yeah. And just come halfway down as we start to look at the floor. You got to take a breath in, and as you exhale, see if you can drop your left hip and raise your right hip up just a hair. Yeah. Imagine that low back nice and flat. Good. Breathe. So each time you exhale, maybe you soften the upper body a little closer to the floor, hinge a little bit more, and feel that nice stretch on the back of your legs. Yeah. Good. Again, try to straighten that sacrum by dropping the left hip and raising the right. It's easy to lift that left hip up. Good. And now coming out, we're going to press down into our hands onto our hip bones. And with a straight spine, press into your toes. Press down into those hips so that you very slowly come back up. So that pressing down into your hips is helping the body, the upper body, float up more easily. Good. And relax the arms. Good. And then we're going to step that right foot back. Good. Wiggle it out, shake it out. And we'll do that same thing on the other side. Good. All right. So we're going to take the left foot forward. Good. All right. I mean, if you feel like you want a challenge, you can soften your eyes here or close them. I'm just going to do the same thing on this side now. We're just going to hinge forward or keep the eyes open. Take a nice big breath in, lift the chest, get nice, reach the shoulders back, get nice and straight in the spine. And exhale, hinge forward at your hips. So start to bring the chest forward as you hinge forward. Yeah. And have just a tiny micro bend in that front left knee. We don't want to hyperextend it back. Good. And now notice that that right hip feels like it's up higher. As you exhale, take that right hip and just drop it and lift the left hip up a little bit. You can use those fingers to lift that hip up. We're just aiming to flatten out that sacrum. And breathe. Good. For 2 and 1. Good. And now dragging the hands down on your hip bones, pressing into your toes. Very slowly start to come up. We're using our lower body to lift the upper body back up, the strength of our lower body. Good. And then we're gonna reach that back. Good. All right. So shake that off, shake it off. Good. All right, so we might need your chair here a little bit, even to the side a little bit, or you can have it in front of you. Good. We're gonna do a side bend, but we're gonna do it in a more of a balance. Yeah, so you can have your chair here. Fingers on your chair. I'm just gonna slide it up so you can see what we're doing. So we're gonna start with bringing our legs together now, right? And again, the body's a little bit off balance when we're not standing with feet hip distance apart. So this is a balance challenge. Good. So having your hands on your chair here, let's just, lift the heart. Good. Feel the body maybe wobbling a little bit. And see if you can take your hands off the chair. And feel that wobble probably a little bit more. You know, you're moving, the body's moving, using different parts of your feet to keep you upright. Good. And now bringing your hands back to the back of your chair. Let's experiment again with closing our eyes. And notice the movement in the body. Yeah. And if you're feeling fairly stable, you can take one hand down and maybe take the other hand down. And just practice sending those signals from the brain to the body, saying, I got this. Use this muscle, use that muscle, engage that core. Yeah. All right, and then slowly opening the eyes. Yeah, I just think that's so fun to play with. We're gonna stay with our legs together, coming into our side bend. So holding onto your chair here, raise your right arm up. Good, take a nice big breath in, get up, stand up nice and tall. And as you exhale, reach up and come over to the other side. Yeah, over to the right. Good. And if you're feeling pretty stable here, holding onto your chair, the option is to just relax that left arm down now, and you can just bring that palm onto the thigh. And then if you want to turn your gaze and look underneath the right arm, use your toes, pressing gently, that'll stabilize you. So a little bit of wobble is good. That's that brain-body connection practicing. Yeah. Good. And then on an inhale breath, make your way out. Slowly come back up. Exhale, relax that arm down. Good. And relax. Let's bring our feet back to hip distance apart. Shake it out. And we'll go over to the other side for our side bend. All right, so this is good for the stretching of the side of our spine, so again, feet together. If you're feeling uncomfortable this way, you can always just go to our regular side bend with feet hip distance apart. Good, hanging onto your chair, left hand down, turn it palm out, and inhale, reach it out and up. Good, take a nice big breath in. And exhale, reach up and gently lean over. And try to feel that stretch. Press down into the outside of your left foot. Yeah, reach your left fingers up and over to the right. Good. If you're feeling pretty balanced, using your toes as well to balance you, you can release the right hand down off the chair. And maybe if you want, you can turn your gaze over underneath the left arm and breathe. Belly's tucked in. If there's any discomfort at all in your back, back off a little bit or really tuck that belly in. And breathe. 2, 1. And then when you're ready, on an inhale breath, slowly make your way out, bringing that arm back up, gaze back forward, and exhale. Release the arm down. Good. And roll out the shoulders. Come back to feet hip distance apart. Wiggle it out. Shake it out. Good. All right, we're going to come into our warrior two. I haven't done that in a little while. All right. So feet wide. You know, you can be behind your chair. You can always be holding on to this. The beauty of having our fingers, you know, we want to have that. And you can practice these poses with holding onto the chair. Even having a fingertip is sending a signal from your fingertip to the brain to say, oh, I've got it, right? Yeah, good. All right, lifting the right toes up, pivoting on the right toes to the outside and down. Good. And let's just be mindful of how our warrior feels, right? So just do any little adjustments, maybe that right foot in line with the middle of the back foot. Good. We're going to take a breath in here now, and as you exhale, I want you to draw your thigh back, soften your right knee, just to right over the heel. Good. So tendency here is to lean to the right. Let's see if we can bring our shoulders above our hips. It might help by stretching that left arm back. And now, if it's available to you, right arm forward. You can always hold onto your chair with your right arm or hand. Yes, Good. Find your warrior, your strong warrior. So you're pressing down on the outside of that back foot. Yeah, belly's tucked in. Tuck your tailbone forward. That'll give you more centering, more grounding. Yeah, if your tailbone's lifted and your back is arched, the tendency is to feel like you're gonna fall forward. So tuck your tailbone down and under, and then turn your head and look over that middle fingernail and breathe. Bring your awareness to your shoulders. So take a nice big breath in, and as you exhale, see if you can relax your shoulders back and down. Let's do 2 or 3 long, slow, deep breaths here. See if you can tap into that belly and heart breath. Yeah. Relax the belly. When we relax the belly, it drops the diaphragm so we can get more air into that low lobes of your lung. And on an exhale breath, let's just drop the left hand down onto the side. We're gonna flip our right palm up for peaceful warrior, keeping the knee where it is, the right knee. On an inhale breath, reach your right arm up towards the sky. You can look up slightly too, depending on how your neck feels. Just keep the back of the neck long. Don't drop your head back. You can bend the right elbow and place the hand onto the top of your head or back of your head. And breathe. Big breath, especially now into this right lung. Of course, you're using both lungs, but the right lung is a little bit more open here. And on your next exhale breath, relax the arm, float it off your head, gently float it down. And good. And turning your gaze forward. Press into your right toes to straighten your right knee, not locking it back, just straighten it, little bend. Lift the right toes up, slowly pivot them forward. Let's take a little break. So if you're on hardwood like I am, it's easier to heel toe. If you're on carpet, you might want to just step your feet back together and shake it out. Yeah, that pose opens us up to trusting that the universe, the divine, God, whoever it is that you, higher power, what you believe in, will provide everything we need. Yeah. And that's an easier way to get rid of that attachment, to have non-attachment. It's just do our best, do our work. Let's come to a wide stance. Let's go to the other side. Lift the toes up, flipping them out and down. Yeah, good. And so arrange your legs how they're comfortable. Good. Draw that thigh back as you soften your left knee, right? Do that because we don't want the knee caving in. That's bad for the knee joint. That's not the best for the knee joint. Yeah. And then again, tendency is to be here. Let's just rock the shoulders so that they're in line with your hips. Reach your right arm out and your left arm and turn your gaze over that middle finger. And again, check in with the body here and see if you can tuck your tailbone forward. Might feel more grounded. You feel like the more even weight in your feet when you do that. Yeah. And see if you can, on an exhale breath, relax your shoulders. Let them just melt back and down. And breathe. Nice long, slow, deep breaths. On an exhale breath, relax that right arm, just let it land onto the right side. Lift the left palm up, keep the left knee where it is, bent, as you reach the left arm up. Yeah. And you can either stay there, looking up slightly. Maybe you can bend the left elbow and rest your hand onto your head and reach that left elbow up as high as you can. And breathe now, opening that left lung. We'll stretch for the left fascia tissue between your rib cage. Yeah, belly's tucking in, stabilizing you. There is a little bit of wobble. Maybe that's okay. That's good. And then on an inhale breath, slowly float the hand back up. And exhale, float it down. Okay, good. And then pressing down into that left foot, straighten the left leg. You can bring your gaze forward. Very gently lift the left toes up a little bit. Slowly pivot them forward. Good. And again, either toe, heel, heel, toe, or step, step, step. Good. And shake it out. Good. All right, we're going to come into a little bit of a, this is a really good one. We've done this before, but we're going to slap and we're going to march, but we're going to change our cadence with our hands and our feet. All right, we've done this before, but this is, I think, one of the best ones to get that brain saying, okay, wait, what are we doing here? I got to pay attention. I better pay attention. So we're just going to start to come into a little march like we did. And if you're feeling hot or whatever, you know, lethargic today, you can just lift the heels. That's good. We'll get the coordination. Yeah. So either marching, if you want more, if you're feeling like, I need a workout today, you can do this. Yeah. So once we have your march, your cadence, you're going to take your hands and just tap your thighs. So right now, cadence is the same, hands and feet, right? Have a rhythm. Okay. So to engage that, you know, brain to get hypervigilant, we're going to change the cadence now of just the feet, but we're going to keep the hands going slow. Actually, we're going to do the opposite. It's, I think, easier. We're going to do the easier one first. So we're going to change the cadence of our hands, but keep the feet going the way they are. So we're going to double time, start to tap the thighs, but keep the march going while you had it. We're tapping, tapping, tapping. Fast, fast, fast. Yeah. Okay, and relax. Come back to your cadence. Hands and legs, same rhythm. Good. And now this is the tough one for me anyway. We're going to start to double time our feet, but our hands stay this rhythm, right? Are you ready? All right. Yeah. Double timing, and tendency is for those hands to do the same thing, but no. Yeah. Yeah. And relax. Good. And come back to your rhythm. Good. Nice. And slow it down and relax. Good. So that's just something to play with, right? It's kind of like the stomach head thing, which I was never able to do. Let's try it. All right. So we're going to rub our tummy and pat our head. Start to rub the tummy and start to pat the head. Not rubbing the head, but patting the head. Good. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, I've got this. I've got it. All right. And relax. All right. Everybody do that okay? Anyway, again, not attachment. The only thing that you need to do is try. And whatever the result is the result, right? Be okay with that. Okay, so we're going to come into a little movement of our hips. So come to a little bit wider stance. Good. Keeping our hips nice and supple helps us to also, because we start to get weaker in our body, and then things start to ache. And when that happens, then we get a little bit less of a tendency to lift our foot up high to get on a stair, and then we catch our toe and then we fall, right? It's all just connected. So let's just get our hips nice and loose by doing figure eights with our hips. So we're going to press the hip belly forward, stretch them over to the right and then back, and then belly forward again and over to the left and back, and belly forward over to the right and back, and belly forward over to the left and back. So continue and maybe make it a little more fluid. So making that figure eight, picture that your hips are making this figure eight or the infinity sign. So we can have loose hips for infinity. Yeah. Making sure that your knees stay soft. Don't lock your knees here. Yeah. Good. I'll take a little coordination, right, to make that figure 8 with the hips, just a little. Every little bit is very powerful. Next time the belly comes to center, pause. Good. We're going to bring our feet back to hip distance apart. Getting a little bit of fluid going in our knees here, a little stretchy movement in our knees. We're going to slide our hands down to our knees. We're going to do the same thing with our knees. We're going to find that figure 8, right? So forward and to one side and back, and forward and to the other side and back. Just making this nice, fluid figure 8. Good. One more round here. No pain here. That's nice and small. Next time the knees come to center, pause. You can walk your hands up your thighs. Good. All right. So there's another energy point that is right behind our waist. It's right about here where the waist meets the hips. So if you can just rest your palms there. It's kind of like when we do our camel pose. That's another Jinshin energy point here. That helps us to get rid of this excess baggage, right? It helps our fluid flow, right? Our cardiovascular, our blood pressure, it helps flow, our fluids flow through our body. Yeah, and also helps us to get rid of, so bending the knees. Yeah, if you can, close your eyes. Just resting your hands there behind you, and even just your fingers if that's more comfortable for you. If that's not comfortable, you can just clasp your hands and have your arms just resting on the back as well. And close the eyes and just take a few belly breaths here. Yeah. Each time you exhale, just feel all that negative, the fear, your stress. It helps us to just let go. Yeah, let go of that perfectionism that we have, Perfection is pure fiction. I like that one. I always say that to myself. There is no such thing. It's pure fiction. And then floating the eyes open. Yeah, straightening the knees. So if you stay on these points long enough, you'll start to feel sort of your pulse going back and forth in your hands on these points. And that's when you know, okay, everything's flowing again. Yeah. All right, relax. But that just feels good too. All right. So we're going to make our way back to our chairs. Yeah, so sitting down mindfully, bending the hips back first. Yeah, using your thighs. Send your hips back, press into your toes. Finally, find your seat in your chair. Good. We're scooted forward here. All right, we're going to do seated chair pose before we go into final relaxation here. So we're going to have our legs together. Situate yourself so you're comfortable. I'm going to press the legs together. We're going to relax the arms down. On an inhale breath, we're going to reach the arms forward and up. Maybe not all the way up. Let's just have them to where maybe the ceiling meets the wall. Forward. Good. We're going to look up between our hands. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, start to lean forward. Press into your legs and lean forward like you want to stand up, right? But we're not. Good. Just feel the back long. Good. You can drop your head forward and just feel the top of your head reaching up towards the sky. As if you want to take your fingertips and touch that corner between the ceiling and the wall. And breathe. Giving our back some strength. Again, this is what yoga is good for as far as bone health, is it helps to strengthen and stretch our muscles so that we don't fall, or if we do a little fall, our muscles are strong and they'll protect our skeleton. And again, that practice of that signal between the brain and the body. We're almost there. 2 more breaths. Good job. reach a little bit further forward maybe. Good. And now on an inhale breath, slowly bring your body back up. Good. And release your hands. Let's just bring our hands into cactus pose. Here with the palms forward, relax your shoulders. It should feel nice. Stretch your upper arms back. Feel the opening up of your heart. Breathe. And then relax the arms down. Good. We're going to do a baby little forward fold. So we're going to heel toe our feet hip distance apart. You should have some space behind you there. We're going to take your hands behind you. You're going to grab your right wrist with your left hand. You're going to draw that arm, straighten that right arm with your left hand. Yeah. We're going to take a nice big breath in. Again, lift the heart and look up. And as you exhale, as you're drawing your right hand back, just hinge at your hips and come forward, stretching your right arm back as the body folds forward in Yoga Nidra. And relax. And breathe. Two more breaths here. A little bit of an inversion, getting some blood flow to the brain. Now on your next inhale breath, drag that right hand back as it allows the upper body to slowly float back up. Good. And then once you're up, gently release that wrist behind you. Good. And let's get ready for our final relaxation here. So we're sitting back into the chair, all the way back. Yeah, feet planted on the floor. Yes, always important for your heels to be on the floor when you're sitting. When your heels are lifted, you're pulling your low back, and it can get your low back to be sore. Yeah, so feet planted on the floor, and feel free to lay down as well. And palms are up now on your lap. Good. You're going to close the eyes. So if you're sitting and not laying down, we're just going to do 2 head rotations to either side. So take a breath in, and as you exhale, drop your chin to your chest. And then slowly roll your head over to the right. And float it up. And then as you exhale, over to the other side. And forward. Do one more. Nice and slow. Eyes closed. And then, when your chin meets your chest again, do 2 reversed. So nice and slow, reverse. Now it's time the chin comes to chest, pause. Good. Press into your toes, let the head float back up. And let's take a nice big breath in, feel the belly rise, the heart rise. And as you exhale, relax the heart, relax the belly. And then relax now, let go of all of your efforts. Just simply come back to your natural breath. And feel the body just begin to soften a little more with each exhale breath. Let go of any attachments of needing to relax, wanting to relax more. Just be here now. Nothing to do, nothing to be, but what you are right now. Feel the shoulders soft, the hips heavy, the arms relaxed. The legs relaxed. The whole body relaxed. Thoughts are coming, let them come and go. Notice how you feel. And if you'd like, simply remain right here for as long as you'd like. And should you want to come back now slowly into this time and space, take a deep breath in and let it go. Begin to move the body, wiggling toes or fingers, making little circles or sway side to side with the body. Just gently, peacefully, kindly wake yourself up a little bit. A little smile on the face. And coming back to center now and bringing your hands into prayer position, Anjali Mudra. Acceptance. Take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, bow your forehead to your fingertips. Relax the shoulders. And we'll end practice today with this. It is important to expect nothing. To take every experience, including negative ones, as merely steps on the path. And then to proceed. Ram Das. When you're feeling ready and complete at your own pace, just gently begin to flutter the eyes open as you lift your head. And I thank you all for coming and taking care of yourself today and just coming to this beautiful practice. May it take you through the rest of your day. We'll see you for meditation tomorrow if you want to join next or Friday for yoga. But just have a lovely rest of your day. Namaste.